Welcome to Tiger Baseball 1976, celebrating with all America our great bicentennial year with America's greatest game, baseball, and broadcast on this Detroit Tigers Network 76 station. Brought to you by the Marathon Oil Company, people who make their living doing the best they can. By City National Bank, the only bank that gives you no strings attached, free personal checking. Still the only real free checking in Detroit. By Carling Black Label Beer, everything about it is premium but the price. Carling National Breweries Incorporated, Baltimore, Maryland. And by the Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealers, who invite you to see all their 1977 models now on display. Now for the pregame color, the players, and the action to follow, here are Ernie Harwell and Paul Carey.
And welcome to the final broadcast of the Tiger games in 1976. It's the Tigers existing here in Milwaukee. Paul Carey is here. My name's Ernie Harwell. And it'll be Dave Roberts, the Tiger left-handed, pitching in an effort to sweep the three-game series. Dave has won 15 and lost 17. And Gary Bear, a young right-hander with a record of 2-2, will be going for Milwaukee today. The Tigers have won the first two games, and this is the last game of the season for each team. The weather is excellent. We've got another bright, sunny, and warm afternoon in Milwaukee. And we right now are having the conference at the plate with the umpires and representatives from each team. And in 1 minute, we'll be back with the starting lineup.
From the pipeline in Wyoming to the oil wells down in Texas, off the shore in Louisiana, to right back home in Finley.
Getting oil out of the ground is one thing. Turning it into something people can use is another. We got people together we thought could do it better, and we called the company Marathon.
From the waters of Alaska to the research labs in Denver, from the Robinson Refinery to pumping gas in Indiana, we got together to do it better.
Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better.
Well, the home plate conference is over, and now let's swing around and tune in on Paul Carey.
Thank you, Ernie, and good afternoon, everyone. Last time I'll be able to say that until come next springtime. This is the windup of the 1976 season. Tigers have won their last three games and have won 16 more this year than last. The Brewers, who have lost 21 of their last 25, simply cannot match their victory total of last season. Now we're getting underway very quickly here. We've got the right-hander Gary Bear, a rookie pitcher the Tigers have never faced before, going for Milwaukee. Dave Roberts on the mound for the Tigers. And for the Tigers against the rookie Bear, leading off playing at third base today, Chuck Scribner. Batting second at left field, Marvin Lane. Hitting third, right fielder Rusty Staub. Batting fourth, the Tigers' designated hitter, Willie Horton. Hitting fifth at first base will be Danny Meyer. Batting sixth, playing in center field, Mickey Stanley. Hitting seventh, the catcher, Bill Freehand. Batting eighth, second baseman, Pedro Garcia. And batting ninth, playing shortstop today, Jerry Manuel. For the Brewers against Roberts, leading off will be shortstop Robin Yount. Batting second, doing the catching, Charlie Moore. Hitting third at first base, George Scott. Batting fourth in his final game as an active player, the all-time home run king, the DH from Milwaukee, Hank Aaron. Batting fifth, right fielder Sixto Lizcano. Hitting sixth, left fielder Dan Thomas. Batting seventh at second base, Gary Sutherland. Hitting eighth, center fielder Steve Bowling. And batting ninth, playing third base today, Jack Heidemann. The umpires will have Terry Cooney behind the plate. Jerry Neudecker at first. Art Franz will be at second. And Bill Deegan will be at third. Now, there may or may not be a special ceremony for Henry Aaron. I think this may be part of it right now. opened up a large plastic bag loaded with balloons, and the balloons are floating out of the bleachers in center field to be wafted by the wind toward the right field stands and above it. And an announcement is being made right now that I simply cannot hear. It's unintelligible in the speaker system here in Milwaukee County Stadium. Now the crowd is rising, and we invite you to join us for our national anthem. Before today's game gets underway, we'll pause for these messages.
If Mark Avery could personally drive you home each afternoon, he probably would. He's that kind of guy. But since that was put quite at crimp in WJR's programming, Mark does the next best thing. He hosts the afternoon music hall. Now, don't let the title fool you. It's a lot more than just music. It's news every hour, periodic sports breaks, and Mal Sillers from the WJR Weather Center. Oh, yes, and it's frequent and timely reports from Michigan Emergency Patrol to make that afternoon trek home, if not pleasant, at least understandable. Mark will keep you posted on where the traffic tie-ups are and where the major problem areas exist in an attempt to show you the way to go home. And if you're already there, well, you'll still enjoy his great music, interesting conversation, and total information. This is Warren Pierce inviting you to join Mark Avery for the Afternoon Music Hall, where all systems are go afternoons between 3 and 6 here on WJR.
To help you solve a problem, that's what WJR's Call for Action is all about. When you need help to solve a problem, call 873-8700 between 11 and 1 weekdays.
Rookie right-hand pitcher on the mound has completed his warm-up tosses. He's won 2 and lost 2, and he has had a decision in each of his 4 major league starts. This is his first appearance ever against the Tigers. Chuck Scrivener leading it off. Here for the play-by-play in the final game, Ernie Harwell.
Thank you, Paul. Here we go. 225 hitters. Scrivener takes a fastball from the tall right-hander. Ball 1. Scrivener has a couple of home runs and 16 RBIs. He's done a good job as a utility man for the Tigers, playing third base today. Swings and misses on a curve, and they count even 1-1. We had 5 umpires out there before the game. The 5th one was Jim Colburn, the Milwaukee pitcher. He dressed in an umpire's uniform and tossed his teammate, Art Kirshner, out of the game before it started. There's a strike called. Jim's a fellow that bought Hank Aaron a used car on Hank Aaron night. He paid $1.04 for it. You can imagine what kind of a vehicle it might have been. There's a slow curve wide and a 2-2 count now on Scrivener.
The car cost $1.04.
$1.04.
Obviously, the 4 cents was the Wisconsin tax.
Here's a ball outside. 3-2 the count on Chuck. Jim Colburn did all those things. Here's the pitch, and he swings at a fly ball lifted to center. Bowling is there, and he has it for the out. 1 up and 1 away. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
The WJR Detroit Symphony Orchestra Marathon returns to Radio 76 all next weekend. Join Carl Haas following MSU football on WJR Detroit, your power station for sports.
Marvin Lane at the plate. He's batting 170. This is Marvin's 18th Tiger game this year. Takes a strike, started Devont Dedden, as Bear, the rookie right-hander, got a fastball over. Bear pitched at Spokane this year, and with the Indians, he won 1 and lost 4. Worked only 40 innings. Also at Pittsfield before that. There's a bounding ball that'll go foul down on the third base side. At Pittsfield, Bear had won 10 and lost 10 in 139 innings. His first year was 74 at Newark, and a 4-4 record. Then the next year at Thetford Mines in the Eastern League, he won 3 and lost 9. His hometown is San Diego, California. Lane getting back into the batter's box. Strike 2, the count on Marvin. No score. We're just underway. Scribner has started the game with a fly to center. And Gary Bear into action, kicks and deals, and there's a curve at low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Strike 3 called. He struck him out. Lane looks at a curve that broke across and got the outside corner. Rusty Staub will be the batter. Rusty going into the final game of the year, hitting .301. He's played every game. That means that as he steps up now, he will have played every game the Tigers played this year. 161. He has 15 home runs and 96 runs batted in. It's a fastball low, ball 1. Outfield plays Rusty straightaway. Willie Horton will be the next Tiger batter. No score first inning in Milwaukee. There's a strike. He poured one in about belt high. 1-1 the count on Staub. Heidemann playing at third base today for the Brewers. There's a curve over for a strike. He's deep right now at third. The shortstop is Yount. The second baseman, Sutherland. Scott at first. In the outfield, they've got Thomas and left, Bowling in center. Lascano, the right fielder. Moore, the catcher. There's a chop foul on side of a 3/4 curve. He kept his swing. 69 degrees at game time. We've been blessed with some great weather here over the weekend in Milwaukee. The wind today is coming in from left and blowing toward the plate. Fastball fouled out of play on the third base side. It'll drift into the seats. And a gentleman from Lannon caught that one on a couple of hops. No score, first inning, 2 out, nobody on for Detroit. Swing another foul out of play. Tried to sneak the fastball by him. Well, we want to thank you folks for all your cards and letters, and especially to Dr. Joe Siren for his nice telegram here that we just received at the press box area here in Milwaukee. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's a strike called. He got him on a fastball. Rusty is called out on strike. Now the Tigers are down 1-2-3. Milwaukee bats in the last half of the first inning. The game is scoreless.
Well, like Ernie, I'd like to express my appreciation to some of the numerous people working behind the scenes for helping to bring you Tiger baseball throughout the season. I'd like to thank, first of all, the engineering staff at WJR, the guys like Don Stoker and Charlie Ross, Don Olszewski, Howard Stitzel, Don Cole Morgan, Ed Milkey, Malcolm McDonald, the extremely vital traffic department at WJR, Rose Carrier and her crew, including Muriel and Joni and Eleanor and Pat. The announcers, too, at the station, who are very patient with our late station breaks on many occasions. The sales department for making it possible to carry the games. In the first place, the programming department, everybody involved in the production of Tiger baseball. It's been a joy being with you again this year, and certainly Ernie and I are looking forward to joining you come next spring.
Here come the Brewers to bat now against Dave Roberts, the Tiger left-hander. Robin Yount, Charlie Moore, and George Scott, the first 3 scheduled batters. Robin, who has played in every game for Milwaukee, will complete the season now, having played in all of them, as he steps up for game number 161, batting .254. Swings and there's a little dribbler hit toward third. Scribner has it for the first. Got him, one pitch and one away. Charlie Moore will be the next Brewer to bat. Catcher hitting in the number 2 spot this afternoon with a batting mark of 190. Tigers have Scribner at third, Emanuel at short, Garcia at second, Meyer at first. In the outfield, Lane in left, Stanley in center, Staub in right. The catcher is Freehand, and on the mound, Roberts. He delivers. There's a bunt attempt. The ball is foul back at the plate. The Tigers against Milwaukee have now won 11 and lost 6. Should they get a victory here today, they will equal their best record against any team. That will be tied with the mark they've got against Cleveland, 12 and 6. Played better against those two teams than they have against any others. Here's a pitch. And Moore takes a ball low from Dave Roberts. Dave trying for his 16th win. He's dropped 17 this year. It's a foul ball hit out of play over on the first base side. Freehan testing that high sky as he looks up in it, shading his eyes with a mitt. Manuel very deep at short. He's back on the grass in left field. Here's the motion and the pitch to Moore. He takes the curve. It stays outside. 2-2 the count on Charlie. Another one wide, and it'll be a full count on Moore. Milwaukee in last place, 31.5 games behind the Yanks. Mounting ball to third. Scribner grabs it, a hard grounder throw to first. He got him. And there are 2 outs the same way, third to first. George Scott stepping up now. Scott hitting .272, 18 home runs, and 77 RBIs for the Boomers. A lot of talk last year that Scott would be traded. In fact, there was a deal in the works where he would go to California for the 2 men who went to the Yankees. There's a fly ball at the center field. Stanley going over to his right, has it on the run, and the side retired 1-2-3. At the end of 1, Detroit nothing, Milwaukee nothing.
Hi, I'm Roger Miller. For some time I've been telling you how good Gabriel Strider's shock absorbers are. Now Road and Track magazine has proved it. In a recent test of leading shocks on a 1974 Corvette, Road and Track declared Strider's overall winner, even outperforming shocks costing $20 more a pair. What's more, Strider's are 3-way adjustable shocks with regular, firm, and extra firm settings. So you can adjust them for the kind of ride that's just right for your car and the way you drive. Have 3-way adjustable Gabriel Striders installed where you service your car. Believe me, I know how good they are. And so does Road and Track. Gabriel Striders. Have Gabriel shock absorbers installed where you have your car serviced. You'll discover the difference quality, design, and manufacturing can make in a shock absorber.
Ted Abernathy of the Chicago Cubs holds the record for pitching in the most games in a single season. 84 games in 1965. This is Jim Garrett, and that's a left-handed fact from Radio 76.
Willie Horton, designated batter, stepping in now. No score. We're in the second inning in Milwaukee. The Tigers at bat. Horton hitting .259, 14 home runs and 56 RBIs. He takes a curve in from Gary Bear, the rookie right-hander. It's a strike call. Bear has won 2 and lost 2. So this is his 5th start, his 6th appearance of the year. They brought him up September the 6th. Swing and a miss. That was a fastball in close. down toward left on the Woody. Here's the pitch on the way. He puts a fly ball down the line and right. Here comes Thomas digging hard near the line. He dives, and he did not get it. It's a fair ball and a base hit for Willie Horton. Good diving effort by Thomas. The umpire, Deegan, was right there in front of him, and he signaled that the ball was not caught. Getting an argument from Robin Yount. Mr. Deegan was certainly right there on the spot to call that play. It'll be a base hit for Willie. It's Danny Myers stepping in. Dan hitting .248. He's stationed at first base this afternoon. Well, that is the first runner for either team. Woody Horton on at first with a little fly ball single down the left field line. Gary Bear, B-E-A-R-E, ready, delivers. Here's a fastball that's bunted at and missed. It's the strike. Bear looks as if he throws the ball very hard.
This young man has pitched very well since being called up. Did not have that good a record in the minors.
Now the set by the big right-hander and the pitch. It's a change-up swung on base hit right field. Toscano comes to the glove side of the field, and Horton will hold at second on the hard single into right off the bat of Danny Myers. So the Tigers with back-to-back singles have a thing going here against the rookie pitcher. Mickey Stanley will be the Tiger batter. Nick's average is .252. 4 home runs and 28 runs batted in. They're going to put the infield in double play depth on him. Outfield slightly toward left on Stanley. He'll be followed by another veteran, Bill Freehan. No score, second inning in Milwaukee. And Mickey swings a little roll, a hit toward third. Charged there by Heidemann for the first is just in time. He's out. Very, very close. Stanley almost beat it. He moves the runners up, but he's out. And the ball was swung on and topped, so there'll be no sacrifice. Stanley out third to first. Good play by Heidemann, who's playing at third base. That'll bring to bat Bill Freehan. Bill hitting .269 with 5 home runs and 26 runs batted home. Man on second, a man on third, outfield slightly toward left on Freehan. A base hit here could get 2 runs in. No score, second inning. He takes a fastball high, ball 1. Pedro Garcia waiting at the on-deck circle. Then it'll be Jerry Manuel. Set by Bear. The pitch is a curve. It's high. Well, each pitching staff has a Bear. It's B-A-R-E for the Tigers. And B-E-A-R-E for Milwaukee.
And there's a B-A-I-R at Pittsburgh.
Just to get things really confusing. Here's a check swing by Freehan. He started on that one and held up. It's 3-0 on him now. Man on third, Willie Horton. Man on second, Danny Myers. No score, second inning. Here's the set by Gary Bear. The pitch is a ball. He walked him. Swept his swing on a fastball. That will load the bases with Tigers. So the first walk of the game, and Pedro Garcia steps up against his old teammate. He's hitting .192. For the Brewers, and he's hearing now from the Brewers. Infield and double play depth on him. Outfield a little bit to left on Pedro. Bear gets his sign, and he's into the windup. Delivers strike call. Fastball over. Bright, sunny afternoon in Milwaukee. We hope the weather's this good wherever you might be tuned in. Now the wind up in the pitch. He swings, fly ball, left center field, should get a run in. Over goes Thomas to left field, and also the center fielder Bowling, and he makes an effort for it and couldn't get it, and everybody's moving up. Horton comes in to score, and the bases are loaded. Well, that ball probably should have been caught. It was a little mix-up between Thomas and Bowling. Looked like it was Thomas's ball from the start. Then Bowling came over and got in his way, made a diving effort, couldn't get it. And it'll be a single.
That's a straight single. Yeah. He got confused. He had him thinking second on the throw, but that's already occupied down.
It's a base hit for Pedro, an RBI, and the Tigers have the lead 1-0. Bases remain loaded, and now here's Jerry Manuel at the plate. Batting left-handed, he takes a strike. Manuel batting 154. He's batted only 39 times all season. And takes a curve at the ball, 1-1 the count on Jerry. Gary Bear, the big tall right-hand rookie, winds and pitches. There's a curve over for a strike. Got that one in the letters toward the outside. Minnesota leads Kansas City at the end of 1-0 at KC. That the Cleveland-New York doubleheader was rained out today. Here's the motion of the pitch. Swing and a foul drive hitting the seats back at third. Meyer on third. Freehan on second. Garcia at first. Hitching to come home. 1 out. There's a foul fly out of play again.
I may be confused because I see Jerry Manuel at the plate so few times. Well, I'm not sure, but this is the first time he's batted left-handed this year.
Yep, I think you're right. Remember, he started out as a switch batter, then he decided to bat right-handed. Now he's probably gone back to switching. There's a strike call.
Well, when you strike out, I guess it doesn't make any difference which side of the plate.
Got him either way. He was listed this year originally as a switch batter. Then he decided he'd bat right-handed. So now either he's batting left-handed all the time or he's going back to switching. We don't know yet. Here's Chuck Scribner up, the base is loaded, and 2 out, a curve over. Now Bear's mixing his curveball in very well with his fastball. Tigers have scored a run off him, but it was slightly tainted. 1-0, they lead it. There's a foul out of play to the screen. Strike 2 on Scrivener. Right-hander against the right hand. The motion and the pitch on the way. Struck him out. No, the ball dropped at the plate, and now the strikeout is completed as Moore touched home plate to complete the strikeout. Now the Tigers get 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, 3 runners left on base. At the end of 1 1/2 innings, Detroit 1, Milwaukee 0.
City National Bank hidden wandering microphone here at a competitive bank in town that would like you to believe it pays higher interest on regular savings than City National. Sir, have you been helped? Thank you. I was wondering how your 5% regular daily interest savings account compares with City National's 5% daily interest plus continuous compounding. Well, where the big difference is in our tellers. You should get to know that your bank just gives daily interest, right? And we're open till 6 o'clock on Friday. But City National gives you daily interest, then continuously compounds that daily interest for an effective annual yield of 5.20%. And we have convenient drive-in windows, which is higher than your 5%. And we make sure every customer gets a free calendar. Here, let me get you one. I'll just be a little. Well, folks, if you're more interested in getting the highest bank interest possible than in getting free calendars, save at City National, where you get the best bank savings deal in town.
City National Bank. Also available at National Bank of Rochester, First National Bank of Plymouth, and First Citizens Bank in Troy. Members FDIC.
Let's cheers for Henry Aaron, starting the final game of his career. And what a great career it's been. Even before the announcement was made, they started a standing ovation here at County Stadium. And then another big cheer when Henry was announced on the PA system. He'll be facing Dave Roberts. We've got a slight delay right now. I don't know why. I think we're missing a left fielder. Marvin Lane is not out there yet. That's what we're waiting on. Roberts set him down 1, 2, 3 in the opening inning. Now let's check Hank Aaron's home run total. He has 10. That gives him 755 now in his Major League career. And they put that up on the message board. We really didn't even have to look it up. 755. Babe Ruth, 714. Willie Mays, 660. Those are the top home run hitters of history. There's a strike called. He got a curve over. There's a ball low. 1-1 the count on Hank. Here's the windup and the pitch. He swings at a bounding ball, deep short, backhanded by Manuel. The throw to first is high, and Meyer comes off the bag and makes the tag of Hank Aaron coming down the line. So in his first turn at bat in his final game, Aaron bounces to shortstop. Les Cano will be the next batter for the Brewers. Incidentally, Aaron playing in his 85th game this year. Cano stepping in. He's hitting 287. Right-hand batting outfielder. 1-0 Tigers lead. We're in the second inning. Here's a strike call. Fastball across from Dave Roberts. 1-run, 3 hits for the Tigers. No runs and no hits for the Brewers. Here's the pitch by Roberts. It's a bounding ball to third. Caught up by Scribner. Good pickup. So to Meyer in time, and there are 2 away. That's the third assist by Scribner already. Here's Dan Thomas. He looks like a fine young outfielder, right-hand batter. Roberts delivers. It's a ball low. Gets by Freehand. Goes all the way back to the screen. Up by the Tiger left-hander. He pitches. It's a ball outside. The fastball missed the far corner. Ball 2, the count on Thomas. Dan waits on the next one and swings on this one. It's a fly ball into left center. Going back, Manuel. He's there. And the shortstop, Manuel, makes the catch. The second straight inning, the Brewers go down 1-2-3, and at the end of 2, it's the Tigers 1, Milwaukee 0.
From the driller in Alaska to the roustabout in Texas, from the driver in Atlanta to the welder in Wyoming.
Getting oil out of the ground is one thing, and turning it into something people can use is another. We got people together we thought could do it better, and we called the company Marathon.
From the engineer in Denver to the trucker in Ohio, from the mailman in Chicago to the foreman in Nebraska, we got together, really together.
Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better.
Who had the longest hit in the majors? Mickey Mantle of the Yankees, who hit the longest measured home run, 565 feet, back in 1953. This is Ed Head, and that's a left field fact from Radio 76.
Marvin Lane leads it off. It's a fly ball to center. Bowling goes back. He's there. Makes the catch. Long fly to deep center. Picked off by Pete Bowling, and Lane is the first out of the third inning. Tigers in the lead in this one, 2-0. 1-0. I beg your pardon. Well, what's a run among friends? Here's Rusty his stop. He struck out his first time at bat. Gary Bear, the right-hander, fires. Here's a bounding ball to short. Backhanded beautifully by Yount. Throw to Scott. He's got him. A good play by Robin. The ball hit very hard. That's the ball. It's the station identification. Judd Sullivan up hits a ground ball to third, and he's out as Scribner fired the ball over to Meyer. It's the fourth assist for Scribner at third base. Not a first ball hitting this afternoon. They know that Roberts has good control. He's going to get that ball over. The Brewers are doing very little waiting. 1-0. Tigers in the lead. Here's Steve Balding, the young center fielder. Right-hand batter, B-O-W-L-I-N-G, just like the bowling alley. Hitting 179. Outfield is straight up on him, and Roberts fires as a ground ball hit on the right side slowly. Garcia to his left, has it, throw to Meyer. He got him 2 pitches and 2 down in the Milwaukee third. Jack Heidemann, the number 9 batter, will be coming up now. We'd like to salute on her birthday Mrs. Ruth Falconer of Scottsville, Michigan, who celebrate 100th birthday a little later on in this month. Also, happy anniversary to the Timothy Lothians of Unionville, Michigan, celebrating number 50. And to the parents of Betty Jean Getty of Saginaw. They'll celebrate their 50th a little later on this week. Here's a pitch in close, ball 1. Heidemann, the one-time Cleveland Indian at the plate, swings as a line drive base hit to left field. The first runners off Roberts. The ball is bobbled by Lane. It got through him, and he picks it up now as Heidemann turns at second. It'll be a single and an error. Marvin Lane charged for the errors. The ball went through his leg on a routine single, and the Brewers got a man to second base. Robin Yount will be the batter. He stomps to Scribner at third, his only trip. 1-0. Tigers lead him in the third inning. Here's a fastball low from Dave Roberts. The wind is blowing in today. It's blowing. It started out blowing from left. Now it's shifted around. It's more from center to right center. Here's the pitch in too close. 2-0 on Robin Yount. 1-0. Tigers lead. They got one in the second on that bases loaded single by Garcia. Heidemann leading down our second. Roberts takes his step, kicks, delivers. Here's a bounding ball to third. Wide by Scribner. Has it. The throw to first. The Meyer in the side retired. There's your man down there at third base, Chuck Scribner. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 man left. At the end of 3, Detroit 1, Milwaukee nothing.
While we have this break in the Detroit Tiger action, here's a weather forecast from the WJR Weather Center. A fair weather cell will dominate conditions for the next day or so. The WJR Weather Center forecast from Mel Fillers for Greater Detroit. Sunny and mild today. High 72 to 75. Mostly fair tonight. Low 50 to 53. For tomorrow, mostly sunny. High in the 70 to 78. Under sunny skies, the Detroit area official temperature is 74 degrees. The relative humidity is 48%. And the winds are southeast at 8 miles per hour. The barometer reading is 30.05, and it is steady. Other reporting from around the state: Muskegon reports 77 under sunny skies. Flint reports 74. Alpena reports 78 degrees. MEP reports no unusual traffic or to report on any of the greater Detroit area freeways at this time. And the score in the Detroit Lion football game is Detroit Lions 14, the Green Bay Packers 10. Now back to more Tiger baseball action with Ernie Harwell and Paul Carey.
1-0 Tigers. We go to the fourth. Let's tune in on Paul Carey.
All right, thank you, Ernie. It'll be Mickey Stanley to lead it off for Detroit here in the fourth. Young Gary Bear, right-hander, shown us an excellent curveball and some smoke, too, with his fast one. He's in the motion. The pitch is taken on the inside corner. Stanley moved away from it, but it took the corner. Strike 1 on Mickey. He bounced out to third, his first time up. struck out 4. There's called strike 2 on Stanley. He was tempted, held off on the breaking ball. Bear has the sign from Moore. The 2-strike pitch. It bounces out of the mid of Moore, rolling behind the plate. Bear has a fine earned run average of 2.57. 2 complete games in 4 starts, so he's shown well here in the late stretches of the season for the Brewers. He delivers high with the fast one, 2-2. That one almost took off to the seat. Bear ready to go. They 2-2 pitch to Stanley. Fouled back up on the screen. Bear has only appeared 5 times. Once in relief, he's had 4 starts. But he's worked a lot of innings considering his limited appearances. 35 innings. The pitch from Bear. A little low. Slipping in, so it's a full count now on Stanley after he's gotten 2 strikes on the Tiger leadoff man here in the 4th inning. 1-0 Detroit. The 3-2 pitch to Stanley. Swung on and lined down the right field line. That'll be in for a base hit, maybe extra bases. Stanley is going to put the brakes on the throw behind, and he gets back to back, but it's backed up by Moore as it got past Scott. With a drive near the line, Lascano up with the ball very quickly, and Mickey knew he had no chance to go to second. And Lascano, because Stanley had taken the big turn at first, threw behind the runner, and the ball got by Scott. I think Mickey would have been back all right anyway. He's at first with a leadoff single. Hit number 4 for Detroit. And it brings up Bill Freehand. Bill walked his first time up. Tigers loaded the bases, got 1 run in the 2nd inning. Was set by Bear. The pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1. Breezy day here today, and the wind blowing from a different direction each day we've been out at County Stadium this weekend. Now the pitch. Across the letters, a strike on Freehand. 1-1 on Bill. Wind blowing in from right center field. Yesterday it was blowing across toward the right field corner. The pitch from Bear. Ball 2, 2-1 on Freehand. Stanley at first, nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. Now the set by Bear. Look at Stanley, the pitch to the plate. Check swing by Bill. That's ball 3. 3-1 on Freehand. Bear has apparently had decent control in his limited major league experience. So far, including today's action, he struck out 29 and walked 15. But that is in 38-plus innings. Stanley goes. The pitch is foul to the screen. Well, they sent Mickey on the 3-1 pitch to Freehand. Earl trying to move the runner to third, and just got a piece of the ball. Final game of the season. Freehand batting .269. 5 home runs, 26 RBIs this year. Now the stretch. There's the 3-2 pitch. Stanley goes again. It's fouled away again. Over to the on-deck circle off the hand of Garcia. Now they sent Stanley twice. Each time, Freehand fouled it off. Scott holding on the bag at first with Stanley. Well, it's all right-hander. Glances to first and throws over there. Stanley gets back. Another throw, and it was a little closer, but Mickey is there. Burr is 6'3", weighs 200 pounds. Out of San Diego. Stanley goes again, and it's fouled to the left of the plate, so Stanley's getting his wind sprints in here in the 4th inning. Freehand just topped that ball, and it rolled foul toward third. Well, we have a final already. Boy, this game must have really, yes, an hour and 47 minutes at Pittsburgh. The opener of a doubleheader, making up a rainout on Friday night. And the Pirates got a 1-0 victory. 7-hit shutout by Jim Rooker as John Denny took the loss. Rooker's 15th win. Pittsburgh 1, St. Louis nothing. The opener of 2. Well, Mickey, you got all winter to rest. Getting the sign from Moore, taking a little extra time. The 3-2 pitch, Stanley goes, ground ball foul. Oh my. That's 5 straight now. The Stanley has gone on each time. It's been fouled away by Freehand. That one rips past third. Stanley with a look toward his old buddy Freehand at the plate. Let's get 1-5 fair ball here one of these times. Remains 3-2 on Freehand. Stanley at first with nobody out. Stanley with a pretty good size lead. Let's see, he's gone 5 times in a row now. He goes again. The pitch is fouled again. This one back upstairs. Oh, Luke Appling Freehand down at the plate. Stanley looking at his Freehand does the signal with his arm. Hits the ball this way. That's 6 times, I think, now. Mickey Patton down at first base. Here's the set. He goes again. It's fouled again upstairs. He'll be in shape for that hunting trip coming up, won't he? Maybe in shape for next year, right here. If he gets to second, he may never go any further, though. May not have anything left. Freehand couldn't help but smile that time when he got turned around. Let's see what happens. 7 straight. He goes again. He swings and misses the throw to second, and it's a steal. In the center field, the ball scoots. Picked up by Bowling, the throw to third. No, they cut it off at short. And Stanley had enough to get to third base. I'm surprised at that. It'll be a steal for Stanley, who is completely pooped now the back at third. Suzuki talking to him over there. Stanley resting on his knees. It'll be a strikeout of Freehand. Steal for Stanley and an error on Moore on the throw that scooted through into center field. Where's Garcia? And the infield is uptight all around. Pedro got the RBI for the Tigers in the second inning. There's a strike called on Garcia. What a fly ball to left center field. It should have been caught probably by either Thomas or Bowling, and it was kind of a delay out there, and finally Bowling reached down, and I think the ball hit his glove. It dropped for a single with the bases loaded and got a run in. That was all the Tigers could get when Bear struck out the next 2. Low and inside. A ball and a strike on Garcia. Well, Bear now has 5 strikeouts among the 10 put-outs in the game. Pitch to Garcia. Swung on and missed. A ball and 2 strikes. Gary Manuel on deck for the Tigers. Well, the Yankees and Indians rained out of their doubleheader scheduled for today. The 2 games canceled, the period. There's a pitch to Garcia. Swung on and bounced foul past third base coach Dick Krzyzewski off the top roll. The Indians and Red Sox were in a virtual tie for third place coming into the final day of the season. The Red Sox are playing at home. Baltimore has a 1-0 lead over the Red Sox after 3 innings. So set. And the pitch to Garcia. He swings, bounces one to the right side. Pass tied him into the right field to pass Sutherland, and the Tigers get a run home. Well, that was as a result of a drawn-in infield that time. They were uptight, and it didn't give Gary much time to react and move to his left. It just got past the glove into right field. A base hit by Garcia. He has both Tiger RBIs, and the Tigers lead it 2-0. Manuel took a call third strike his first time up. Jerry batting left-handed against the right-hander Bear. Off the first. Garcia just starting to get his lead and was leaning the wrong way. But he got back all right. Another throw to first, and he's back, but it's really close. Burr has done a pretty good job of keeping runners close to the bag over there. Here's the pitch to the plate. Smash to shortstop. Make it 2. Yount goes to Sutz for 1. The relay double play. That's all for the Tigers in the 4th inning. They pick up 1 run on 2 hits. There was 1 error and no Tigers left on base. After 3.5 innings, it's Detroit 2, Milwaukee 0. Speculation here at the season's end about the managers for next year. The Associated Press has come up with a survey showing that at least 7 managers could be out of work very soon. Tom Lasorda, of course, is the new manager. He replaces Walter Austin at Los Angeles. And then there's the fate of Red Saints in St. Louis. It's still hanging fire. Charlie Fox in Montreal. John McNamara in San Diego. Jim Marshall with the Cubs, an unknown factor. Frank Robinson may or may not be back in Cleveland. And there's Norm Cherry of California and Paul Richards of the Chicago White Sox. So the changes in management seem most likely in Montreal, San Diego, Cleveland, and with the Chicago Cubs. But right now, it's just a big, giant guessing game as to what managers will be retained and what managers will be back in 1977. Moving into the bottom of the 4th inning here at County Stadium in Milwaukee. Dave Roberts has given up 1 hit over the first 3 innings for the Brewers. It'll be catcher Charlie Moore leading it off for Milwaukee in the bottom of the 4th. Tigers have 5 hits. The Brewers have 1 off Roberts. He has not walked a man nor struck out a man. The left-hander hoping to get his 16th win here on the final day. Roberts delivers. There's a fly ball lifted to left field and near the line. Lane coming over. He's under it now. On the line, makes the catch, and it's a fair ball, says third base umpire Bill Deegan. Well, there's 1 down in the 4th inning. The batter, George Scott. The boomer flied out to Stanley his first time up. Minnesota 1, Kansas City 0 after 2 innings at Kansas City. Roberts kicks and delivers. Ground ball to the left side. Deep in the hole on the grass. Past Manuel in the left field. Jerry plays very deep, whether it's second or short, and he was on the outfield grass. It'll be a base hit. It got by Manuel in between Scrivener and Manuel. Here's Henry Aaron, and he gets another fine round of applause. Aaron with 755 career home runs in his last active game as a Major League ball player. Down at first, 1 down. Aaron bounced off the short his first time up against Roberts. It's low for ball 1. It was not so long ago that Roberts faced Aaron when he needed 1 more to break a record. There's a foul fly out of play. And that was on the final day of the season, as I recall. Final day of the 1973 season. Roberts started for Houston against Aaron of the Braves. And Aaron got 3 hits off Dave, but they weren't home runs. And he did not break the record. That came the following spring. There's a strike called 1-2 on Henry. Playing Ernie Harwell's song here at the stadium when Aaron comes up. Move over, babe. Here comes Henry. The set by Roberts. Here's the pitch. A little high. 2-2 on Aaron. Number 44. The last home run he hit this season was some time ago. Over 2 months ago, July 20th, here at County Stadium. He has a total of 10 this year. Hampered by injuries this season. The threat's the pitch by Dave. Foul to the screen. Top remains 2-2. Roberts taking a little more time. Scott at first base, following his one-out single. Meyer holding on the bag. Big gap on the right side. Blowing inside at the full count now on Aaron. First 3 innings just sped by, but this 4th inning has taken quite a while. Tigers got a run. Gave Gary Bear a lot of trouble. Freehand fouling off 7 straight. There's a pitch. The runner goes. Bouncer to third off the chest of Scrivener. He has only 1 play. That's the first, where Aaron is retired. Scott was moving on the pitch, and Scrivener, had he even handled the ball cleanly, it was a hard smash that took a big hop right into the chest of Scrivener, but he was able to glove it right off the shirt and get Aaron at first base. So Scott in scoring position at second now with 2 down, and the batter is Lozcano. And the pitch to Sitzel. He swings and chops one out toward the mound. Dropped by Roberts. He throws, and it's wild, and a run will score. He should never try to throw. Garcia backing up the play. Sitzel stops at second base. An easy little drop ball right out to the mound. The inning was all but over. Roberts simply clubbed it. He booted it. The ball came popping out of his mitts. When he picked it up, he tried to hurry the throw and threw way over Myers down along the field seats in right field. It'll be an error all the way, and no RBI as Scott scores all the way from second. Now, wait a minute. They posted a hit. Did they call it a hit? Giving them 3 hits up there. I don't understand that. Go away. Here's the set by Roberts. The runner at second. The pitch to Thomas is bounced foul over toward the Tiger dugout. I gave him 2 errors on the play, but did they give him a single, Ernie? Did you see that? Would you check? Because they've got a hit posted for some reason up there. Actually, should be 2 errors on the play on Roberts. Oh, just 1 big one. Now the pitch to Thomas. Inside, the runner goes to throw to third, and out at third is Lozcano. He tried to move to third, and a good throw by Freehand cut him down. We've got kind of incomplete totals here because I'm not sure what the score has said on an earlier play, but the Brewers picked up 1 run on at least 1 hit, perhaps another. They had at least 1 error, and nobody left on base. After 4 innings of play, it's now Detroit 2, Milwaukee 1.
Carling Black Label Beer asks, what makes a premium beer a premium beer?
Now, the
Budweiser drinker, I've got to say it's quality ingredients that makes a beer a premium beer.
And as a common Black Label drinker, I've got to say it's quality ingredients. That makes a beer a premium beer.
Oh, and then there's aging.
Look, absolutely. Aging is very important.
Oh, and no, don't you forget taste.
Oh, no.
That's another reason Budweiser is a premium beer.
Look, I couldn't agree with you more. The thing I like most about my Black Label is the premium taste.
Hey, now, wait a minute. Your Carling Black Label doesn't cost as much as my Budweiser.
That's right. You see, what makes a premium beer is the beer.
Carling Black Label beer. Everything about it is premium. What's the price?
Bartender, 2 Black Labels, please.
Hey, thanks. You didn't have to do that.
I didn't.
Huh?
They're both for me.
Carling National Breweries Incorporated, Baltimore, Maryland.
Underway already here in the 5th inning, and the count is 2-0 on Chuck Scrivener leading off for Detroit. Ernie has checked with the score, and it was just one error on Roberts that allowed Scott to score from second and Loscano to get to second base. So the totals are 1-1-1 and 0 in the 4th inning. There's one high ball. No, that's a call strike. I beg your pardon. 2-1 now on Scrivener. Brought in the leadoff spot in the Tiger lineup. He's 0 for 2 so far against the rookie Bear. 2-1. The Tigers lead here in the 5th. Ground ball to third, gloved by Heidemann across the diamond. It goes. Scrivener is out. 1 away in the Tiger 5th inning. And let's take the opportunity to pause for station identification right here. This is the Detroit Tigers Baseball Network.
With the classic radio experience, the return of the WJR Detroit Symphony Orchestra Marathon with Carl Haas, all next weekend on WJR Detroit, your power station for sports.
The first pitch to Marv Lane is taken on the corner for a call strike. Lane 0 for 2 has struck out and flies deep to Dowling in center, or Bowling rather. There's a strike 2 called. Marv's going to grab a handful of dirt and back out of the box. There has spanned 5, left 2, and allowed 5 Tiger hits. 2-1 Detroit here in the 5th. One out, bases empty. The pitch to Marvin. Slow one inside for ball 1. Kicks and fires. Popped up in the infield. Near second base, Yount is calling for it. Sutherland is under it. Now Scott calls everybody away, and he makes the catch. Scott moved over there in front of Gary to make it 2 down in the 5th inning. Well, the batter will be Staub, who's looking for his first hit of the ball game. Staub has hit in 7 straight games. 0 for 2 so far. Today, he has struck out and bounced out to short. Rusty within 4 of the century mark in RBIs this year. With low ball 1 on Staub. Now Bear rocks. Here's the pitch. Popped up, foul. It'll be out of play behind the Tiger dugout. Underway at Arlington, Texas now. The White Sox and Rangers 0-0 after 1 inning. The pitch to Staub. With 5-2-1 on Rusty. Well, I want to wish my partner the very best of good fortune and good times while he broadcasts with Ned Martin the playoff games for the American League. There's a swing and a miss, 2-2 on Staub. Tony will get a chance to get on and see Lulu for just a few days and then get right back to work. Well, I'm vacationing in northern Michigan. Tony's going to be working hard at Kansas City on Saturday. Swing and a miss. Staub is out swinging, and the Tigers are down 1-2-3. In the 5th inning, we go to the bottom half. It's Detroit 2, Milwaukee 1.
From the pipeline in Wyoming to the oil wells down in off the shore in Louisiana, right back home in St. Louis,
thing. Turning it into something people can use is another. We got people together we thought could do it better, and we called the company Marathon.
From the waters of Alaska to the Beaver Tribes in Denver, we're on the Mississippi Library. From Gaston, Indiana, we got together to do together.
Marathon Oil Company. We got together. We do it better.
I was just talking to Ernie about the playoff structure, rotating to make as much exposure for the playoffs as they can this year. And the American League playoffs begin in Kansas City Saturday afternoon and the National League Saturday night. And are they in Cincinnati or are they in Philadelphia Saturday night? I'm not sure about the National League, but they play Saturday night. They're in Philadelphia, that's right. It would be in the East. There's a fly ball lifted to short left field by Dan Thomas going out as Manuel, the shortstop, near the line, makes the catch. Fair ball. A 1-pitch, 1 out in the fifth inning for Milwaukee. So it'll be the Yankees and Royals on Saturday afternoon, and the Reds and Phillies Saturday night in Philadelphia. And then the Yankees and Royals will play at night on Sunday night in Kansas City. And they'll play in the afternoon at Philadelphia. Sunday afternoon. On the outside corner, strike one on Gary Sutherland. And they'll take a day off on Monday for travel and resume on Tuesday in the opposite cities. The bouncer to the mound. This one handled all right by Roberts. He flips to Meyer, and there are 2 outs here in the fifth inning. Roberts has only himself to blame for the Milwaukee run that came in the fourth inning. He had an easy third out that would have retired the side, but just simply mishandled it completely. A little chopper out to the mound. And it allowed the run to come home when he threw wildly. There's a pop foul behind the plate. Freehan coming back. Might have the room. Nope, it's up on the screen. Calling at the plate has been up once, and he bounced out to second. Championship playoff series, the best 3 of 5. And of course, the winners to move on to the World Series, which begins a week from Saturday. So while they wait quite a while before the championship playoffs begin, there conceivably would not be much of a delay between the playoffs and the series. High and outside. Ball 1, strike 1 on Steve Bowling. He spells his name just like you do when you're knocking over 10 pins. B-O-W-L-I-N-G. Line drive down the left field corner. It is double. It is a foul ball. Oh, boy, that didn't miss the home run mark by much. Bowling has not yet connected for a Major League home run. And he sure had the distance that time. It's 3:15 right down the line. And it was hooked just outside the foul pole. So it landed in the seats. It was difficult to tell from here. And to wait for the umpire, Bill Deegan, down the line to make the call. A ball and 2 strikes on Bowling. 2 out, nobody on. Ground ball to deep short. Manuel has it. Flips across, and he's got him at first base. So the Brewers go down 1-2-3 after 5 innings of play. It's the Tigers 2 and the Brewers 1.
Ready. Right now. The only cards in the whole world for 1977 to offer the revolutionary electronic lean burn system from Chrysler Corporation. The only electronic lean burn system in the world. Electronic sensors designed to go deep into the operation of the engine, react to variations in temperature, engine speed, engine load. Actually, this new computer-controlled system adjusts your engine to 7 crucial operating conditions instantly, electronically. Result, improved performance from one of the most unique engine systems in the world. The
The only cars in the world for 1977 to offer the electronic lean bone system will be the cars from Chrysler Corporation. And the only place you can get it will be at your Dodge and Chrysler Plymouth dealers. This game is being brought to you by the Marathon Oil Company, people who make their living doing the best they can. By City National Bank, the only bank that gives you no strings attached, free personal checking. Still, the only real free checking in Detroit. By Carling Black Label Beer. Everything about it is premium, but the price. Carling National Breweries Incorporated, Baltimore, Maryland. And by the Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealers who invite you to see Volare, the small car with the accent on comfort. Now, back to baseball action with Ernie Harwell and Paul Terry.
I thought Dick Kozuski was going to miss out. Bonnie Brewer, on the last day of the season, decided to, after sweeping off Kozuski's shoes, to shake hands with him. I don't know. He's not going to get the little peck on the cheek, but she came through anyway, and then gave him a good old swat. Underway here in the sixth inning. It's County Stadium in Milwaukee. An absolutely beautiful afternoon again. Willie Horton at the plate to lead it off for the Tigers, who lead 2-1. Willie has hit a pop single and walked. He takes a strike on a changeup. Horton hit a handle hit down the left field line his first time up. It was trapped by Thomas. But for a pop single, there's a pitch high. 1-1 on Horton. There delivers. There's a curve low. 2-1 on Will. Not overshifting too much on Horton. Sutherland is to the first base side of the bag at second and deep. Bear ready, delivers outside and low, 3-1 on Willie. They'll be followed by Meyer and Stanley here in the Tigers' sixth inning. Tigers got a run in the second, and it's 1 in the fourth, and the Brewers picked up an unearned run in the bottom of the fourth inning. 2-1 Tigers. Foul to the screen, full count on Horton. Well, the season's drawing to an end here this afternoon. The Tigers were not contenders this year. They certainly made a vast improvement over a year ago. And with the... Well, here's the pitch to Horton. He swings. There's a fly ball hit deep to left field. That may be. Going back is Thomas on the warning track. And he can't get it. It bounces into the seats. It's not a home run, but it's a ground rule double for Willie. In fact, Thomas may have overrun the ball. He got back to the wall, and the wind blowing in from that direction may have prevented Willie from getting a home run. He overran the ball. It dropped behind his right leg, took one hop up into the stand.
He sure played that one badly, Paul. I think maybe the sun and the wind bothered him somewhat, but he got back there, and it did hit on the warning track and just bounced over his head in the seat for a double.
Here's Danny Meyer. Horton at second, nobody out. The pitch to Danny. He bounces one to the right side. Glove by Scott, then dropped. He goes to first, and nobody is covering at first base. Scott had intentions of going to third to get Horton, and he had a play on Willie. But in getting the ball out of the glove, he dropped the ball. As they're going to give a base hit to Danny Meyer. Kind of unusual scoring. And the crowd doesn't like it either. They see the big H flash on the board. And do not react well to the scorer's decision. Edgar Munzel, coming up from Chicagoland to do the scoring here for the home games. And Meyer given an infield single as Horton takes third. Scott cut off the ball in front of Sutherland. It would have been a routine 4-3 out at first base, but he cut it off, wanted to go to third, and bobbled the ball when he had a shot at Horton. Stanley at the plate. Mickey has 1 for 2. He singled his last time up. Strike called on Mick across the letters. Well, all of a sudden, they've had activity pouring in on the pitcher from Boston. It's jumped up to 6 innings now. Baltimore leads 9-2 over the Red Sox. Cleveland Cleveland can back into third place as a result of what's happening in Boston this afternoon. The pitch. There's a line drive base hit to left field. Horton will score. Stanley drives in a run as Meyer stops at second. And the Tigers lead it 3-1 here in the top of the fifth inning. 3 straight hits. The ground rule double by Horton. A tainted infield single by Meyer. And then the solid single left by Stanley. Meyer at second, Stanley at first, nobody out. Bill Freehand at the plate. Well, Stanley has one consolation. Unless they try the double steal, he's not going to have to be running down there. There's a foul fly back up into the press area and then down below. Last time up, Freehand fouled off. 7 straight pitches. Each time, Stanley running on the pitch. And then on the 8th one, Freehand struck out. He finally missed it. And Stanley was running that time. He stole second, the throw by Moore. I guess he was so surprised that it hadn't been fouled off by Freehand. He did not throw too well, and it skipped on into center field. Tigers wound up getting a run as a result because Garcia then came up and singled the right to score a run. There's the pitch to Freehand. Cut and a miss. Strike 2 on Bill. Horton led off with a ground rule double. Took third and an infield single by Meyer. And scored on Stanley's single. Runners at first and second, nobody out. 3-1 Detroit. Bear delivers. Change up inside. Getting a sign now from Moore, taking a little more time. Infield about halfway. The set. Now the pitch to Bill. He swings, lines one to right field, a base hit. Lozano coming over to cut it off. Rounding third, heading home is Meyer. He'll score. And taking third is Stanley as the throw comes into short. Well, the Tigers have collected 4 straight hits here in the 6th inning, picking up 2 runs to lead it 4-1. Will be Garcia, who has 2 RBIs to his credit in this ball game. Pedro's had a pretty good weekend in his old stomping grounds of Milwaukee. We got that big 5-run rally started on Friday night here. Garcia picking up a 1 hit on Friday, driving in a run. He had a double for 3 yesterday. He swings and pops one down the right field line foul. It was drift out of play. One strike on Garcia. Freehand at first, Stanley at third. Tigers have scored a pair of runs here in the 6th inning. Pitch to the plate. It's high, 1-1 on Garcia. I've got somebody warming up out in the bullpen, but you can't tell who here at Milwaukee because the pitcher is behind the little comfort station out there, whatever it is. A little bus waiting depot. Now the bullpen shed. You see a ball coming from behind it. Inside, snap, nope, a buck throw by Moore, sending Stanley scurrying back to third. 2 balls and a strike on Garcia. Haas is warming up for the Brewers. Not Mule, I don't think. That's a fly ball to left field. That's fairly deep. In the corner goes Thomas. He looks up at the wall, makes the catch. Stanley tags, and he'll trot home. Taking second is Freehand on the long, deep fly to left. And the throw really came to the wrong part. He threw up to third base. Instead of heading for second, Freehand spotted that, took off, and made it easily into second base. He races the fourth by so doing, and Garcia picks up his 3rd RBI of the afternoon. The Tigers have scored 3 times. A sacrifice fly by Garcia, the first out of the inning, with Freehand now at second base. And the batter is Jerry Manuel. 0 for 2 for Jerry. He has struck out and bounced into a double play. pitch is taken a little high, ball one. Five to one Tigers here in the top of the sixth inning. Stretch by Bear. And the pitch. Ball two, it's low to Manuel. Kansas City is tallied a run. They now have tied Minnesota 1-1, and they're in the sixth inning at KC. 3 and a second, one away in the sixth inning. It's to Jerry. He cuts and fouls it to the screen. 2 balls and 1 strike on Manuel. Batting left-handed against the right-hander Bear. Pitch is bounced to the right side, charged down the big hop by Sutherland. He puts the Scott to get Manuel as freehand, takes first. Well, there are 2 out now. Freehand at third base. And the batter will be Chuck Scribner, hitless in 3 trips today. Looks at third and delivers to the plate. It's high, ball one on Chuck. Now the pitch to Scribner, swung on and missed, 1-1. Chuck has slid to center, struck out, and bounced out to third. No hits for the Tigers in this inning. And a sacrifice fly, the Tigers scoring 3 times. Well, a called strike on Scribner, and he's arguing with plate umpire Terry Cooney. Out there looking into the motion, the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, and the ball is dropped by Charlie Moore, but he makes the tag before Scribner leaves the plate, and that's all for the Tigers. In the 6th inning, the 7th strikeout for Bear, but the Tigers come up with 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. After 5.5 innings, it's now Detroit 5, Milwaukee 1. The pitch from Roberts, line foul off the top row in left field. Dave rocks him in on the 1-strike pitch. Outside and low, ball 1, strike 1 on Robin. Yount's 161st game. The pitch from Roberts popped in the air behind first. Meyer in foul territory in the shadows near the stands. Makes the catch. And there are 2 down. That'll bring up Charlie Moore, 0 for 2 for the catcher up in the number 2 spot in the batting order. Well, as I say before, while the Tigers were not in a contending position most of the season, it was an interesting year, particularly because of the consistent excellence of Mark Fidrich and Ron LaFleur and Rusty Staub. With a curve in, called strike on Charlie Moore. Roberts rocks and delivers. Strike 2 called. One game's been complete already today. Pittsburgh beating St. Louis 1-0 in the opener of 2 games. There's a ball inside. 1-2 now on Moore. Bases empty, 2 down. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Tigers lead 5-1. Pitch from Roberts. Ground ball to deep short. Manuel has it. The long throw. No, he did not get it. Moore beat it out. And that may simply be because Manuel plays that position too deeply. He has got to go too far with the throw. He came to his right. Threw the ball cleanly, but the long throw just did not get there in time. An infield single by Moore. Now, I can understand Jerry doing that on the right side of the diamond. He does it, plays very deep in his position at second base. As deep as anybody you'll ever see. Right now, with George Scott. Now, he's got a lot of power. He's on the edge of the outfield grass, Manuel is. That's shortstop. More at first, 2 down. The pitch from Roberts. Swung on and missed. Strike 2 on the boomer. Well, Scott singled and eventually scored the only run for Milwaukee off Roberts on the error by Dave in the 4th inning. The set, the pitch to Scott. He pops the foul out of play, back up into the upper deck. The Tigers planning vacations right after the season ends. Some are going to attend some of the postseason games, the playoffs and the World Series, but most will just try to take some time off, get some hunting and fishing in, just relax. Inside, almost hit Scott as he skips out of the way. A ball and 2 strikes on the boomer. Stretch by Roberts. And the pitch to Scott. Line drive to left field toward the corner. A base hit. Lane goes over to knocks it down. Can't pick it up. Headed for third is Moore. He's being held at third as Scott cuts into second base. A 2-base hit by George. And the Brewers are getting something going here. With Henry Aaron stepping up. Got the first 2 easily. But then Moore was safe on the infield single when they throw from Manuel playing a very deep shortstop. Just didn't get to the bag in time. And Scott rifled the double into the corner in left field. Runners at second and third, 2 down. Aaron 0 for 2 against Roberts. The first pitch to Henry high and wide. 4-1. Holder of numerous Major League records, Hank Aaron. And right now, standing in at the plate for the 13,939 times. Plate appearances. Can you imagine? The pitch from Roberts. Pop foul into the out of play. 13,939 times he has been at the plate playing that one-on-one game with a pitcher. Strike on Aaron. Boy, that's a lot of on-deck circle appearances too, isn't it? A lot of kneeling on the pad down there. A lot of pine jar. A lot of rosin bag. Pitch there and ground ball to short. Manuel knocks it down. Can't pick it up. A run scores. Everybody's safe. It'll be a base hit for Aaron. Well, Aaron drives home the second run for Milwaukee. It's 5-2 now. And Henry's coming out of the ball game. Here's the cheer for Aaron. Everybody rises. Hank Aaron coming out of a Major League game for the last time. Johnny Moore scoring on the single by Aaron. And the baseball is going to be preserved. They're taking it out of play. It's being run back into the dugout. Roberts was not particularly fond of a call by the official score. He gave a look up in the direction of the press box here after they gave Aaron a hit on that. Like he felt that perhaps that Manuel fielded the ball cleanly, that he would have gotten Henry, who has lost a bit of the speed over the years. One run in, runners at first and third. There's a curve outside. Ball one on Sixto Lozcano. Roberts has got to settle down right now. He got the first two, but then things have gone a little bit wrong for him. A single, a double, and a single. It's 5-2 Tigers, but the Brewers are still very much alive. Runners at first and third. Stretch by Dave. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1 on Sixto. Taking a little extra time. Scott at third, Gantner at first. I'm sorry, he's running for Aaron. Inside, it's 2-1 on Lozcano. That's Gantner. Gantner running at first base, replacing Hank Aaron. 2-1 count on Lozcano. The pitch from Roberts. Swung on a top foul past third. Not even now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Tiger Baseball Network.
Your favorite classical works, exciting premiums, and Carl Haas will all be part of WJR Detroit Symphony's Orchestra Marathon next weekend here on WJR Detroit, your power station for sports.
The pitch from Roberts swung on and missed by Sixto Lozcano, and Dave gets out of further difficulty, throwing one by Lozcano for his first strikeout of the ball game, and it came at a very good time. The Brewers coming up with 1 run on 3 hits. There were no Tiger errors. 2 runners left after 6 innings of play. It's Detroit 5, Milwaukee 2.
During this break in the action, here's the WJR News update. Observers are anxiously awaiting the outcome of today's contract talks between Ford Motor Company and the United Auto Workers Union. There's a good deal of optimism about agreement on a new contract by day's end. An Ohio congressman says 11 corporations, including Ford Motor Company, got away with paying no federal income taxes in 1975. Michigan health officials are turning their attention to breast milk in an effort to determine how widespread PBB contamination is in Michigan. A group of Detroit business and labor organizations are forming a new anti-crime coalition. It's reported the new group will call for the removal of judges considered too lenient in criminal cases. A top aide to Secretary of Agriculture Earl Butz says Butz has talked to the White House about resigning, but has no plans at this time to leave his post. The first computer projection in the West German election shows Chancellor Helmut Schmidt's coalition leading by a narrow margin. Common Cause has accused the AMA of violating the limits on contributions to political candidates. It's 74 degrees. I'm Fred Hensey.
We're going to be seeing a new pitcher here for Milwaukee in the 7th inning. Moose Haas. His real name is Brian, but they call him Moose. He's a rookie right-hander who has 1 decision this year, 1 defeat. He has had a couple of starts for the Brewers, coming on to replace Gary Fair, who went 6 innings, gave up 5 runs and 9 hits. Fair struck out 7 and walked 2. Now we've got a note on the Western Union ticker to the effect that Major League Baseball has surpassed the 3,000 mark in stolen bases in 1976. Only the 7th time in history, and the first time, oh my goodness, the first time since 1914 that they had stolen 3,000 bases in 1 season in the majors. That's trying to tell us that baseball slowed down a little bit since 1914. I don't know. Ready to go with the new pitcher, Haas. On the mound, it'll be Marv Lane to greet him. Well, the Tigers in front 5-2 here in the top of the 7th. Back for the play-by-play. Here's Ernie Harwell.
Thank you, Paul, and hi again, everybody. Tigers with a 3-run lead. Haas, the right-hander. Rookie goes to work now. The pitch, Cobain swung on and tapped towards third. Glove there by Heidemann. Throw to first to Scott. He's out. 1 pitch and 1 away. That'll bring up Rusty Staub, who has struck out twice and bounced to short. This fellow, Brian Haas, is a young fellow that Sheriff Howell told us about last time we were in Baltimore. Sheriff has been a kingpin of Sandlot baseball in Baltimore for many years. Al Kaline played for him, among many other great players that played for him. And he said, when you see this fellow, you'll be very much impressed. Haas is a native of Baltimore, makes his home in Orange Mills, Maryland now, right outside of Baltimore. He's 13-9 in Spokane. Here's a curve over. He got a strike across on Rusty. Haas is 0-1. Been in 4 games, 2 of them to start. Since they brought him up to the minors. Here's a ball in too close. What was that? I didn't miss that.
They just computed Hank Aaron's lifetime batting average at .305.
Fantastic. A great career coming to an end here this afternoon. Hank Aaron. There's a swing and a miss by Rusty Staub. 1-2 to count on him.
6 innings, 5 runs all earned.
Tigers 5 runs, 9 hits, and the Milwaukee's 2 runs and 5 hits. We're in the 7th inning of the final game of the year. Moose Haas ready to go to work again, and the young right-hander winds and pitches. There's a fastball in on the ground toward first base, and it'll roll into foul territory. Glove here by George Scott. Milwaukee way off on their home run production this year. They are 88. They're big guns. They didn't hit them like they did last year. They should wear. The White Sox, as a team, hit only 3 home runs over the whole schedule in 1980. Can you imagine one team having only 3 home runs in a complete year? Wheeler Jones, Willis Bell, and the pitcher Ed Walsh had 1 apiece. The National League record is 9 for Pittsburgh in 1917 for the fewest home runs by a team. Here's the ball outside on Rusty, and the count is 2-2 on him. Woody Horton waiting on deck. Brian Haas, H-A-A-S, on the mound, ready to go to work again now. What it is? It's a swing and a bounding ball to second. Bobble by the second baseman Sutherland. That was a fairly easy chance for Suds, and he just simply misplayed it. Here's Willie Horton up now. That is the second error by Milwaukee. Each team is committed to. Willie was the man who started the 3-run surge in the 6th inning. With his second inning, he has 2 for 2. 4 different Tiger batters with 2 hits apiece. There's a fastball under the chin, ball 1. Freehan has 1 hit. Then Garcia, Stanley, Meyer, and Horton all have 2. Getting back into the batter's box now. Haas looking him over. Man on first is Staub. Not much of a lead for Rusty. 5-2. The Tigers lead in the 7th inning. Foul upstairs, out of play. 1-1 the count on Willie Horton. Haas got his start with Newark in the New York-Pennsylvania League in 74. Then to Burlington the next season, and then to Spokane. So this is only his 3rd year in the professional ranks. He's 20 years old. That holds it at the belt. And delivers is a pop-up into the infield. Robin Yump, the shortstop, calling for it near second. He makes the catch, and that's 2 down. Danny Meyer will be the batter now. Danny has a couple of singles and a fly ball to left. Tigers got 1 in the 2nd. Each team scored around the 4th inning. The Tigers got 3 in the 6th, and then Milwaukee came back with 1 in the 6th. Here's Meyer waiting on Haas. And Mickey Stanley at the on-deck circle. Set and the pitch. He takes the curve in too close. Ball 1 on Dan Meyer. Breeze is picked up a bit, and it's blowing in from right center. and the count is 2-0 on wire. The Tiger RBIs, 1 for Stanley, 1 for Freehan, and 3 for Pedro Garcia. There's a strike called. He got a quick one over it, about belt high on Danny Myers. A couple of balloons in the breeze here. The green one blew all the way in from the bullpen. I think the guys in the bullpen put that up in the air, and it's over the dugout now. Bounding ball to first base. Good stop by Scott on the hard one hopper. He makes the play unassisted, and the Tigers are out in the 7th. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 man left. We go to the last half of the 7th inning in Milwaukee. Detroit 5 and the Brewers 2.
From the driller in Alaska to the roustabout in Texas, from the driver in Atlanta to the welder in Wyoming.
Getting oil out of the ground is one thing. Turning it into something people can use is another. We got people together we thought could do it better, and we called the company Marathon.
From the engineer in Denver, the trucker in Ohio, from the salesman in Chicago, to the foreman in Nebraska. We got together, we do together.
Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better.
In the bright sunshine here in Milwaukee, this is the final game of 1976.
Well, we've got a note on the Western Union ticker to the effect that Major League Baseball has surpassed the 3,000 mark in stolen bases in 1976. Only the 7th time in history, and the first time, oh my goodness, the first time since 1914 that they have stolen 3,000 bases in one season in the majors. That's trying to tell us that baseball slowed down a little bit since 1914. I don't know. Ready to go with a new pitcher, Haas. On the mound, it'll be Marv Lane to greet him. And the Tigers in front 5-2 here in the top of the 7th. Back for the play-by-play, here's Ernie Harwell.
Thank you, Paul, and hi again, everybody. Tigers with a 3-run lead. Haas, the right-hander. Rookie goes to work now. The pitch to Lane, swung on and tapped toward third. Gloved there by Heidemann. Throw to first to Scott. He's out. One pitch and one away. That'll bring up Rusty Staub, who has struck out twice and bounced to short. This fella, Brian Haas, is a young fellow that Sheriff Howell told us about last time we were in Baltimore. Sheriff has been a kingpin of Sandlot baseball in Baltimore for many years. Al Kaline played for him, among many other great players who played for him. And he says, when you see this fella, you'll be very much impressed. Haas is a native of Baltimore, makes his home in Orange Mills, Maryland now, right outside of Baltimore. Was 13-9 in Spokane. There's a curve over. He got a strike across on Rusty. Haas is 0-1. Been in 4 games, 2 of them to start. 305 since they brought him up on the minors. There's a ball in too close. What was that? I didn't miss that.
They just computed Hank Aaron's lifetime batting average at 305.
Fantastic. A great career coming to an end here this afternoon, Hank Aaron. There's a swing and a miss by Rusty Staub. 1-2 to count on him. 6 innings, 5 runs all earned. Tigers 5 runs, 9 hits, and the Milwaukee's 2 runs and 5 hits. We're in the 7th inning of the final game of the year. Moose Haas ready to go to work again, and the young right-hander winds and pitches. There's a fastball in on the ground toward first base, and it'll roll into foul territory. Glove there by George Scott. Milwaukee way off on their home run production this year. They're 88. They're big guns. They didn't hit them like they did last year. They should wear. The White Sox, as a team, hit only 3 home runs over the whole schedule in 1908. Can you imagine one team having only 3 home runs in a complete year? Fielder Jones, Bill Isbell, and the pitcher Ed Walsh had 1 apiece. The National League record is 9th of Pittsburgh in 1917 for the fewest home runs by a team. Here's the ball outside on Rusty, and the count is 2-2 on him. Woody Horton waiting on deck. Brian Haas, H-A-A-S, on the mound, ready to go to work again now. But it is. It's a swing and a bounding ball to second. Bobble by the second baseman Sutherland. That was a fairly easy chance for Suds, and he just simply misplayed it. Here's Willie Horton up now. That is the second error by Milwaukee each team is committed to. Willie was the man who started a 3-run surge in the 6th inning. With his second hit, he has 2 for 2. 4 different Tiger batters with 2 hits apiece. There's a fastball under the chin, ball 1. Freehan has 1 hit, then Garcia, Stanley, Meyer, and Horton all have 2. Willie getting back into the batter's box now. Haas looking him over. Man on first to stop. Not much of a lead for Rusty. 5-2. The Tigers lead in the 7th inning. Foul upstairs, out of play. 1-1 the count on Willie Horton. Haas got his start with Newark in the New York-Pennsylvania League in 74. Then to Burlington the next season, and then to Spokane. So this is only his 3rd year in the professional ranks. He's 20 years old. That holds it at the belt. And delivers. Here's a pop-up into the infield. Robin Yomp, the shortstop, calling for it near second. He makes the catch, and that's 2 down. Danny Meyer will be the batter now. Danny has a couple of singles and a fly ball to left. Tigers got 1 in the 2nd. Each team scored around the 4th inning. The Tigers got 3 in the 6th, and then Milwaukee came back with 1 in the 6th. Here's Meyer waiting on Haas. And Mickey Stanley at the on-deck circle. Set and the pitch. He takes the curve in too close. Ball 1 on Dan Meyer. Breeze has picked up a bit, and it's blowing in from right center. Fastball is low, and the count is 2-0 on Meyer. The Tiger RBIs, 1 for Stanley, 1 for Freehan, and 3 for Pedro Garcia. There's a strike called. He got a quick one over about the belt high on Danny Meyer. A couple of balloons in the breeze here. The green one blew all the way in from the bullpen. I think the guys in the bullpen put that up in the air, and it's over the dugout now. Bounding ball to first base. Good stop by Scott on the hard one hopper. He makes the play unassisted, and the Tigers are out in the 7th. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 man left. We go to the last half of the 7th inning in Milwaukee. Detroit 5 and the Brewers 2.
From the driller in Alaska to the roustabout in Texas, from the driver in Atlanta to the welder in Wyoming.
Getting all out of the ground is one thing. Turning it into something people can use is another. We got people together we thought could do it better, and we called the company Marathon.
From the engineer in Denver to the trucker in Ohio, from the salesman in Chicago to the foreman in Nebraska. We got together to do it better.
Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better.
sunshine here in Milwaukee. This is the final game of 1976. And the Tigers lead the Brewers 5-2 in the 7th inning. Dan Thomas will lead off against Dave Roberts. Roberts has one strikeout to his credit. He got the final out of the 6th inning on a strikeout, finding Lescano. He's not walked anybody. He's given up 2 runs and 5 hits. 4 singles and a double. The double by George Scott. Here's Dan Thomas. He's 0 for 2. He's popped the manual to shortstop each time. Right-hand batter takes a fastball low from Dave Roberts as the last half of the 7th is underway. Outfield to left and deep. The wind is still blowing in from the outfield toward the plate. There's a strike. Roberts got his fastball across. Check swing by the batter, Danny Thomas. Fred Sutherland and then Steve Bowling will follow. Line shot up the middle. It'll be through for a base hit. The 6th hit for the Brewers. Thomas leads off for the single. Here's Fred Sutherland coming up. Gary has bounced to third and grounded back to the pitcher. He's 0 for 2 this afternoon. It's his old teammate. Thomas is a pretty good runner. He's leading off first base. Meyer holding between him and the bag, not directly on the base. There's a base hit to right field. Sutherland punches a single right. Stopping at second is Thomas, and the Brewers are in business now. They've got 2 men on and nobody down. Steve Bowling, the right-hand batting center fielder, 0 for 2. He's bounced to second, grounded to short. Tigers will set their infield in double play depth. They like to get that ground ball here to second or short. Bowling is not quite ready to step into the batter's box. Now he's in there to wait on the left-hander Roberts. Here's the set by Dave in the pitch. It's a ball outside. Breaking ball on away. Ball 1. Cleveland and the Yankees were rained out of their doubleheader today. That cancels the final 2 games of the season for each of those 2 teams. Baltimore leading Boston in the 8th inning 9-2. There's a foul out of play in the dirt. Now, should Baltimore hold that lead, that means that the Indians will take over and finish in 3rd place. They were in a tie for Boston for 3rd when the day's play began. Now the set by Roberts in the pitch. Swung on and a miss. Bowling went for the breaking ball but couldn't get it. And the count on the rookie outfielder, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Only other spot of the American League in contention is the California and Texas battling for the 4th spot in the other division. There's a ball low. 2-2 the count on him. California's done a good job under their new manager, Norm Sherry. They've been the winningest American League team over the last month or so. 2 men on, nobody down. Roberts trying to get out of trouble. Bowling at the plate. Here's the pitch. He swings and fouls it upstairs. In the seats, still a 2-2 count on him. Runs, 9 hits for the Tigers. They've made 2 errors. The Brewers have 2 runs, 7 hits, and they've made 2 errors. Now Roberts, second is fine with a veteran catcher, Bill Freehand, goes to the set position on the mound, checks his runners. He kicks and pitches, and it's a curve. It's just outside. Full count, 3-2. Well, Mr. Grammas let him run here with 3-2 and nobody down. 7th inning, they trail by 3 runs. Rookie outfield at the plate. Thomas digging in, standing 30 deep with his feet close together. Now Roberts looking in the Freehand to get his sign. Thomas on second, Sutherland on first. There they go. The pitch is a strike for the third, and it is a double play. As the front man, Thomas, is cut down after the third strike. That leaves 2 out and Sutherland at second base. Second strikeout for Roberts. Oh, he gave him a go sign, and it's backfired. Here's Jack Heidemann up now with 2 down in the Brewer 7th inning. 5-2, Tigers lead them. Outfield a little bit to left on Jack. He had the first hit off Roberts. A single with 2 out in the 3rd inning. Roberts got the first 8 men he faced. Here's the ball outside from Dave, ball 1. Second time at bat, Heidemann bounced out the Meyer unassisted. Here's a ball low. Set now, the pitch on the way, swinging the bounding ball deep short. Manuel way back has it. Long throw to Meyer, not in time. He beat it out. That'll be a single. Once again, Manuel, as Paul said, playing very deep. At shortstop, he had to go a little bit over to his right. He couldn't get enough on the throw to get it over there. And it'll be a single for Heidemann. Sutherland moves to third. That keeps the Brewers alive in their 7th inning. They've had 3 hits in this inning, but a double play has kept them from scoring. But the out is up now with a man at first and a man at third, and 2 out. The Tigers lead 5-2. Robin is 0 for 3 this afternoon, and he takes a fastball high. Set by Dave. And the pitch, he swings to the bounding ball to third. Scrivener scoops it up, throws over to second to Garcia. They get the 4th out on Heidemann, and the side is retired. In the 7th, the Brewers threaten but don't score. No runs on 3 hits, and no errors. 2 runners are left. At the end of 7 in Milwaukee, Detroit 5, the Brewers 2.
Were you listening to Warren Pierce the other night? He interviewed Ed McMahon recently. Did you catch the fight with Warren when he went around the world? Called us all, brought us reports from everywhere around the world. Did you join him when, with the help of much of the Motor City, he adopted animals out at the Detroit Zoo? If you can't answer yes to all 3 of these questions, really you've been missing some great evening entertainment here on Radio 76, namely the Warren Pierce Show. I'm Mark Avery, inviting you to join Warren weeknights at 7 o'clock when he indulges in all sorts of unpredictable topics, funny, stimulating telephone conversations, America's favorite music, of course, and information that's important to you. Warren Pierce is really what's going on in Detroit nighttime radio. And Warren Pierce is going on right here on WJR, America's great radio. I wonder, were you listening the other night when Warren was talking? To help solve a problem, that's what WJR's Call for Action is all about. When you need help to solve a problem, call 873-8700 between 11 and 1 weekdays. That's 873-8700.
Well, Paul has just gotten us some information, I believe, on the batting race over there in Kansas City. What is it, sir?
Let me get my microphone back on here and douse the telephone. Hal McRae and George Brett went in almost neck to neck, and Rod Carew just a percentage point behind it. In the top of the 8th inning, the Twins lead 4-2. McRae and Brett have both gone 2 for 3. Carew has gone 1 for 3. So it's much, and they're both, all 3 will probably bat once more. So it is still not really decided, but it looks like it's either McRae or Brett. Go ahead, Ernst.
All right, here's Stanley at the plate, and he takes the strike call.
The percentage you can believe this, from McRae is 332-6996. Brett, 332-2987. Wow, that's close. Here's a ball low, and Stanley has a 1-1 count on him.
We're extending it up 7 percentage points.
And how far back is Carew now?
And Carew is 329-4701. So he's about 3 percentage points behind. 4 percentage points.
Still, anything can go.
Yep.
Now the wind-up by Haas, and the pitch to Stanley hit on the ground to short. Charged by Yount. He has it over to Scott in time, and Mickey's out. One down in the 8th inning, the Tigers lead 5-2. Also in the National League, we had a bulletin from Western Union that the game at Chicago, Matlock has gone 4 for 4 to move into the batting lead in the National League. Take it away from Griffey, I presume. They don't say that, but Griffey was in the lead, the Cincinnati player. Here's Bill Freehand at the plate. Lined up by Haas, and the right-hander serves a curve in too close. Ball 1 on Bill. The difference in the game right now, that 3-run surge by the Tigers in the 6th inning. In the lower part of the batting order that's produced the run. Freehand takes the ball wide. 2-0 the count on Bill. Here's the wind-up by Brian Haas, and the pitch on the way, fouled out of play. Paul, what inning were they in that Kansas City game?
Oh, they were in the top of the 8th inning. The Twins batting and leading 4-2 at that point with 2 outs.
So everybody might get one more time at bat. Is that
I figure they'll be coming up once more in the 9th inning.
Here's the wind-up and the pitch. It's swung on as a little looper hit the left field. May go foul. It is a foul ball. You know what would really be interesting if they go into extra innings over there in Kansas City, and everybody gets up about 3 or 4 more times,
and Carew gets a hit every time.
Yeah. A little added interest with the 2 teammates in it, too. Makes it more exciting. 2-2 pitch to Bill Freehand. Tigers ahead 5-2 in the 8th inning. Here it comes. He swings and fouls it out of play. That'll be over on the first base side. They're still putting Hank Aaron records up on the Panagram here. He's got a lot of them. I tell you, they can keep that up all day long almost. Alaskan says he has the most years, 100 or more games. That's 22 seasons for 100 or more games for Hank. Here's a pitch low to Freehand. Tigers lead them. Moose Haas on the mound, rookie pitcher from Maryland. Winds into the base, and there's a foul on the screen. Full count on Freehand. Gary Bear started for Milwaukee. Haas relieved him in the 7th. All 5 runs, all 9 hits were chargeable to the starting pitcher. Roberts has gone all the way for the Tigers, giving up 2 runs and 8 hits. Here's the motion, and here's the pitch. Freehand swings, and he missed it. Tipped it to the middle of Charlie Moore for the strikeout. That's the first strikeout by Haas. 2 down for the Tigers, and here's Pedro Garcia, who's had a hot bat in this series against his old teammate. In this game, he's 2 for 2 plus a sacrifice fly, and every time he's been up, he's driven home a run. You could look at it this way, too, that Pedro is a difference in the ball game because he's driven in 3. Haas delivers, and it's a strike on the inside corner. That one had a little mustard on it. Shadow cutting across now between the mound and home plate. The ball comes out of the sun, almost the sun, although a little bit of the light tower shades the mound. And then it comes into heavy shade right in front of the plate. Here's the wind-up and the pitch. He swings and fouls it upstairs. That was sort of a half cut by Pedro. Strike 2, the count on him. continues to blow in from the outfield, mostly from right center now toward the plate. Here's the windup and the pitch. He backed him off with an inside curve. Gets his sign for more, works again, and it's a strike. God, he struck him out. Got a slow curve over, and Pete is called out on strike. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the last half of the eighth inning. It is the Tigers 5, the Brewers 2.
Orny was talking about all of the Hank Aaron records they've been citing here at the ballpark, and he owns more than just about anybody in the business. For instance, he has the records for most games lifetime, and that now stands, as a result of this one today, at 3,298. Of course, he tops everybody in home runs with 755. Most RBIs, including one here this afternoon as he went 1 for 3 and drove in a run. 2,297 RBIs in his career. A lifetime batting average of 305. Some of the other records that Hank Aaron holds on the major league level: most games, most seasons, 100 or more games; most seasons, consecutive 100 or more games; most plate appearances lifetime; most at-bats lifetime; most extra base hits lifetime; most total bases; most sacrifice flies; and most bases on balls intentional lifetime.
Tigers in the lead over the Brewers. Here's the eighth inning with Milwaukee coming to bat. It'll be Charlie Moore to lead off for them. The right-handed batting catcher with a single in the sixth inning, 1 for 3. He has scored one of the 2 Milwaukee runs. He's a man who crossed the plate when Hank Aaron came to bat for the last time in his career and drove home a run with an infield hit. Charlie hits a drive to Manuel. He leaps and grubs it at shortstop. Good dropping catch by Jerry Short. Here comes George Scott. George is fly to set a single and double. Jim Gatner comes to the on-deck circle. He'll be hitting in Aaron's old spot in the designated hitter's row. 5-2, Tigers holding the lead. Time Carl Roberts wants to retie his shoelace. Scott waiting at the plate on the Tiger left-hander. The pitch is on the way. He swings and misses. This time Roberts started him off with a slow curve, dipping down around the knees. In too close, and the count is 1-1. That one also knee-high. Lined up by Dave. The pitch is outside the breaking ball. Breaking down on the way to the right-hand batter. 2-1, the count on George Scott. Here comes. He swings at a bounding ball to Manuel. He charges, grubs it is for the first in time, and there are 2 outs. Uptime Manuel not playing quite as deep as he did in the earlier innings. Here's Gatner. He'll be up for the first time. He came into the game as a pinch runner for Hank Aaron. He stays in to be the designated batter. Gatner batting .250 in 25 games. Roberts ready, winds and pitches. There's a cut and a miss by Jim Gatner. Fly ball hit into the right center. Going back is Stanley. There, makes the catch. And the Brewers go down 1-2-3 in the 8th at the end of 8 innings. Detroit 5, Milwaukee 2.
Hi, folks. This is C.W. McCall, the old rubber duck himself. And Monday and every weeknight you're going to hear me on the NBC radio network. Most people first nationwide citizens band radio show ever. The name of the show is Modulating with McCall. And if you're already a CB fan, or if you'd like to know about it, then join me and I'll tell you all the facts and all the rules and regulations and all the things you're ever going to need to know in general. We're going to have some real interesting guests who can talk CB from the inside, and they can tell you how it's been important to them and how it can be important to you. You can hear all about the FCC rules and CB radios, and you're going to enjoy learning all them handles and that there 10 codes and lots of them CB stories, too. So join me, C.W. McCall, Monday and every weeknight on the NBC Radio Network. An important reminder from WJR. The deadline for voter registration for the November 2nd election is tomorrow. You'll first have to register before you can vote.
Station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
It's a classic radio experience, the return of the WJR Detroit Symphony Orchestra Marathon with Carl Haas. All next weekend on WJR Detroit, your power station for sports.
Ninth inning, the Tigers lead 5-2. Final game of the year. Manuel is bat. He's 0 for 3. Struck out, hit into a double play, and bounced to second. Haas delivers, bounding ball to third, knocked down by Heidemann. He gets up, fires over to first to Scott, in time on a bang-bang play. Well, he played that one off his chest, but he got it over in time to pick off Manuel. One up and one away, so the batter will be Chuck Scrivener. This could be the last time the Tigers will bat in this season. Scrivener has gone 0 for 4. He's fly to center, taking a call third strike, bounced to third, and then struck out swinging. The starting pitcher there struck him out twice. Here's a curve in from Haas. Haas has not allowed a hit since he came in. He's working his third inning. The one man got on base on an error. Here's the ball low to Scrivener. 2-0, the count on Chuck. Outfield is shallow and straight up. Lined up by the right-hand rookie pitcher. He delivers a strike. 2-1, the count on Scrivener. Tiger RBIs. Garcia has 3, Freehan 1, and Stanley 1. High, tight curve, make it a 3-1 count now on Chuck. He'll be followed by Marvin Lane. Backing up the deeper, Geordie Jones. There's a ball low, and he walked him. That'll be the first walk issued by Haas. And Lane coming to bat. Tigers lead them in the ninth inning. Try to sweep this final series of the year in 1976. Well, it's been a real pleasure for us to be with you folks this year. We certainly appreciate your great loyalty to the Tigers and to the broadcast. And we look forward to being with you again next year. Toss over to first base to Scott, but the runner back with ease. Waiting at the plate. Here's the pitch. It's a ball in the dirt. Good scoop by the catcher, Charlie Moore. Ball on the count on Marv. Bruce Haas, the young right-hander from Baltimore, delivers. It's a strike. Oh, he got that one on the inside corner. 1-1 the count on Lane. Staub waiting at the on-deck circle. Lane waiting on the next delivery. Nope, he's going to throw to first. A good stop by Scott, that ball in the dirt. He had to short hop it with a backhand stab to save an error by the pitcher. out and the pitch on the way. Lane swings to the bounding ball, deep shortstop. Yount has it over to second and not in time. Had a little trouble getting rid of the ball. It's deep short. We'll wait for the score. It'll be a single. Here's Rusty Staub. Well, Rusty started the ball game hitting over 300 at 301, but he has gone 0 for 4. Well, that might pull him below that 300 mark. He's up for the 5th time right now. Mr. Kerr is getting out the pencil. That bodes for good. It's a curve across. He took a slow curveball in. 5-2, Tigers lead. They've got 2 men on a walk and a single. That was the first hit off Haas, and it could have been scored an error. There's a chopper hit towards second base, charged by the second baseman Sutherland. He missed the tag on Lane, I believe, and gets the stop at first base. Lane is still at second. I don't know whether he got him or not. And Rusty is on first base. Maybe Scott didn't hold the ball. That's what happened. Scotty dropped the ball, so I guess everybody's safe. It'll be an error for the first baseman, Scott. Well, I didn't see him drop the ball, and I thought maybe that Lane had been tagged out by Scott, but apparently not.
Well, I thought he was too because there's no chance to the outside. Well, if he did, he took it back. Because he's going to let Lane stay at second base, and Scott did indeed just simply drop the ball.
And the bases are loaded. There are 3 Tigers on now. Part of the crazy quilt play there. Tigers trying to add to their 5-2 lead, and Woody Horton at the plate with 1 out and 3 men on. Woody swings and tips one foul to the middle more. Horton is single, walk, doubled, and pops to shortstop. Now that means that Rusty Staub now has gone 0 for 5 in this game. Looking him over, 3 men on, 1 man down. Tigers ahead 5-2. It's the 9th inning in Milwaukee. Foul out of play. He didn't get around on the fastball. Cubs beat Montreal 8-2. And we've got another final in from the National League. The Phillies beat the Mets 2-1. Carlton wins his 20th one in that one. Two count on Woody Horton. The windup by Haas. The youngster fires, and it is a ball outside. Fastball missed the far corner. Tigers now have 5 runs on 10 hits and 2 errors. And the Brewers have 2 runs, 8 hits, and they've made 3 errors. Here's the 1-2 delivery. When he swings at a bounding ball back to Haas, he'll go to second. There's one, the relay to first. In-time double play. Pitcher to second base to first base. A double play to end the inning. So the Tigers got no runs on 1 hit and a walk, 1 error, and 2 runners are left on base. And we go to the 9th inning, Detroit 5, Milwaukee 2.
Valeri, the Chrysler consideration for your comfort. Big wide windows, big roomy seats, and a ride smooth and steady, like bigger cars. One more comfort. Cost. New cars show so much consideration for how little you want to spend.
Roberts trying to get that final win. He'll be facing Sixto Lescano, Dan Thomas, and Gary Sutherland here in the Milwaukee ninth inning. Lescano at the plate, and he swings and misses on the first pitch from Robert. Well, we want to thank Paul Carey for all his great help during the year and all his fine announcing. And everybody else has got a part in the show. There's a little pop-up foul off of first base. Meyer over there, he has it, and there's one down. Dan Thomas will be the next man to bat.
You pointed out the fact that Rusty has gone over 5. He was safe on an error twice in the ball game here today, but it has indeed dropped his average below the 300 mark. It'll level off at 299.
Here's the windup now on the pitch. There's a fly ball hit the right field. Should be caught. Staub is coming into the glove side. He's under it, and he makes the catch. 2 down in the ninth. 1 to go, and it'll be a baseball season. Sutherland is the scheduled batter. Here he comes to the plate. Faces his old teammate, Dave Roberts. Spuds has bounced to third, grounded to the pitcher, and had a single. Don't forget the scoreboard show when the game's over. Paul Carey will have all the late baseball news for you. Here's the pitch. It's a strike call. Tigers trying to sweep this series. They've got a 5-2 lead in the ninth inning. Mounting ball hit the manual. He has it. Should end the game. So the first, it's all over. They go down 1-2-3 in the ninth inning. And the final score, Detroit 5, Milwaukee 2.